Welcome in. It is Thursday at 9 p.m. and you are watching Panthers on the Plus, a.k.a. the Ball Brothers Panthers preview. I'm with my Ball brother, Eugene Robinson.
No doubt.
One of the 50 greatest players in Seattle Seahawks history, one of the greatest safeties in NFL history, Eugene Robinson. You like that intro, man?
All right, I'll take that, bro. But first, you were saying welcome in. I thought you were saying welcome men. Welcome men. I'm going, hold on, men. What about the women, too?
No.
Here we go. Here you go. So,
welcome men and women, but I'm saying welcome in. Welcome in.
It was welcome in.
Maybe it's like the lazy tone.
Yeah. It was welcome in.
You from Connecticut, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm from Connecticut. Hey, man, I want nobody writing letters or nothing like that.
Welcome in.
Thank you.
In.
Yes.
Man, how are you doing, one? And two, have you been able to process the game from Saturday?
Yeah. One, let's talk about the game Saturday. This past Saturday, the Panthers weren't supposed to be there. They weren't even supposed to be there. They weren't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And so because they weren't supposed to be there, and the team, the opponent that they're facing, they were supposed to get blown out by 10.5 points.
Yeah.
So they were expecting the Rams to come in here and just absolutely dismantle the Carolina Panthers. That was not the case, not one bit. I thought we spotted them 14 points.
Yeah.
One with the turnover on downs when we went forward on fourth in our own territory.
Yeah.
And instead of punting the ball out, I was like, hey, punt the ball out. And then we had an interception. And both of those plays were on the plus side of the ball for them, and then they scored. That was 14 points.
Yeah.
So the fact that we actually took the lead in the fourth period twice in the fourth quarter, I'm sitting there going, wow, we shouldn't even be here.
Even going into half, where Bryce scampers in for a touchdown, it was kind of like, okay, it's not here we go again. It's, okay, let's go. We got this.
Is it 17? It was 17-14.
It was playing out like the last 13.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This had shades of, of like, hey, we're going to go ahead and upset these guys because no one's expecting us to do anything. And I think this is what this really did, this game, as I process it. I think it legitimized Coach Canales. I think it had so much credence to Bryce Young as being that guy. They picked up his fifth-year option. Well done. It'd be that guy. And I think it established Jalen Coker as the number 2 receiver. I think it established Mike Jack as one of the top corners in the league. When you look at the Carolina Panthers and we look at that game, you have to say this, that with all the great teams, Seattle, San Francisco, the Rams in our conference, that the Panthers belong and they are among the best.
Oh man, they
are among the best.
It was great. It was great seeing the bank back to what we saw for years, where the crowd was standing the entire time. I mean, talk about the atmosphere there. I wasn't at the game.
It was crowded. It was loud.
Eugene didn't give me a ticket to the game.
My bad. Sorry about the tickets, bro.
But the atmosphere of the game, Eugene's a regular at the game. But what was that like? Because you compare that, Eugene, to I go back to 2022, and I remember it was Matt Rule's last game, and Christian McCaffrey's.
That's right.
One of his last games there at Bank of America. It might have been his last game. I know it was Baker Mayfield's last game at Bank of America Stadium. What was that like at the playoff game compared to what we say like in 2020?
When you have that juxtaposition of those two games and one not having the fan support and people being upset that you're going to lose a Christian McCaffrey, people upset with you, and it's empty. I mean, the bowl, it doesn't have that many folks in it.
At all.
To this game that we faced against the Rams last week, it was standing room only. There were so many legends that came back to be a part of history. And then I got to give the fans their love in this. They were loud. They were noisy. They cheered. They booed the other team coming out of the booth. They did all the stuff you're supposed to do, like as fans, and it was incessant. It never stopped. It was just noise. And I was happened to be in I went to a couple of sweet hops a little bit, but I was there, and there was a couple of plays that we made, and everybody in that area was high-fiving each other and dancing and walking around and doing their little dance and, doing a little crip walk and all kind of stuff. I'm like just going, hey, man, is that the crip walk? I think you did the crip walk.
Eugene's like, I know how to do that.
I said, man, I think he did the crip walk. But it was that loud, and it reminded me of what playoff games looked like back in 2004, what they looked like in 2015.
You know what that reminds? Well, and to your point, so loud that I believe there were a couple of false start penalties.
Yes, it was.
And I'm like, oh wow,
dude, it was no. Typically, when you have to go to signals anyway, you use always hand signals.
Yeah.
When it's loud, it was that loud that the Rams were like, okay, we're relegated. Yeah. We're forced to go ahead and use our hand signals because ain't nobody going to hear you. Yeah. Nobody going to hear you.
That game may have cost Matthew Stafford that MVP. I think,
think so.
I think so. I just think
I think that Drake May has played so well that I think that he's become that guy. Yeah. That he's gonna, and if they continue to do what they've been doing, I think he becomes the front runner for it.
You know what that
even though once they have 47 touchdowns.
Yeah, right. You're right.
That's a lot of touchdowns.
You know what that reminds me of? 2002. I went to my first Panthers game, actual Panthers game, inside the stadium, not outside the stadium, inside the stadium. That one tickets was like $50. For $50, you get like a really good seat at then Ericsson Stadium. 2002 quarterback Rodney Peete. I believe D. Brown was the running back. They were playing Chicago Bears.
D. Brown was at the game too, by the way.
D. Brown, he was at the game?
I happened to see him, yeah. That's
underrated Carolina Panther running back.
Underrated. D. Brown, we're giving you some love, man. Hey, D. Brown, you had it going on.
Number 22, shout out to D. Brown. But they were playing the Chicago Bears. They kind of had an season. It kind of reminded me of the 2024 season with the Panthers. It was half packed in the stadium. They were playing the Chicago Bears. It was mostly Bears fans in there, and there was a drunk Carolina Panthers fan yelling, "Cats! C-A-T-S, cats!" And it was like, man, this is sad. Fast forward a year later, and it's a totally different vibe. The year they go to the Super Bowl, and it's like, man, it's just.
And that's the year Jake Delhomme came.
Yeah.
Jake Delhomme came that year because Rodney Peete was their quarterback. And you remember that Jacksonville Jaguar game, I believe it was, when
halftime.
When what's the name took over at halftime, hit Ricky Pro on that corner route for a touchdown.
Yep.
You knew it was going to be something special because, man, this Jake Delhomme dude, who is this guy, right? But guess what? He's one of the most competitive people that you know. He's just one of those guys, but the atmosphere grew. Yeah. It grew and grew and grew and to this bit crescendo. Like everybody, no matter where you went, everybody was talking about the Carolina Panthers. Yeah. And don't forget, they went. If it were not for, I think he gets a bad rap a little bit, but what not for John Casey? We talk about the kick off.
Oh yeah,
after they took the lead, Bowl, that got the ball over the 40-yard line.
Yeah.
That shortened the field. I don't fault John Casey for that.
Yeah.
But that's just football. But if people still remember, like, hold up, these dudes, they weren't even supposed to be there. They went and shocked the house, and then we won a lot of close games there.
Look, that team does in ways reminds me more of that 2003-04 squad. Different, right?
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
But the. You count this team out, and they work wonders, and they were the cardiac cats that year in 2003. So a lot of similarities, and they were building blocks.
But that team, that 2004 team, I want to say is older than this 2000.
A lot older, yes.
A lot older, and I think that's one of the differences is that this team here today, currently now, is a young team that got some invaluable playoff experience, and invaluable.
And I think that early 2000s team wasn't able to make a run because they were a lot older than this team.
Yeah.
But speaking of the offseason, we're going to talk about it after the break, and we'll tease a little bit of it now. The Panthers have some decisions to make.
Okay.
Going to the offseason.
I know. They do.
And one of those guys who star running back kind of teased, like, I don't know if I'm going to be back. And he didn't say in those words. I'm paraphrasing.
No, but Rico Dotto had said that he intimated that he wants to be the every down guy.
Yeah.
I get it because everybody wants to be. So that's no not disparage him or anything like that. That's everybody wants to be that
Everybody
guy.
wants to be the guy.
I want to be I want to be the quarterback.
But okay, I have.
I want to be the secondary dude. I want to be the guy out there.
You obviously we can't read his mind, but he did sign a 1-year deal here in Carolina, knowing that he wasn't going to be the guy.
Yeah, but see, he was hoping also that his play would resonate so much that every other team is going to want to pick up a Rico Dowdle.
So just basing it off of what Chuba did the year before, did he really think that he was going to be 1,000-yard back? I'm just being real. I'm not saying he wasn't capable. Obviously, he did it, but did he?
Rico Dowdle has something special.
Yeah,
he can run. He got great vision, great peripheral vision. He's able to go ahead and put his foot in the ground. He accelerates really. He gets going really, really fast. What we saw that 5-game stretch was not something that was an anomalous thing. That's who he is.
Yeah,
he's that guy. So. Now the Panthers face what? Do we get a guy? Do we saddle up with Chuba, or do we?
And
go
Jonathan Brooks, the young guy.
And I tell you what, I saw him play one game or one preseason thing, and I was like, dude, who is this dude, man?
Yeah.
Who's this guy with this kind of ability?
He got
wheels. That. He has that ability now. He's coming off injury.
Yeah, 2 injuries. One from college, one from the pros.
Exactly, and so that will actually somewhat, get in your head and diminish what you do, and you have to go ahead and round back out in the form. So we'll see what happens, but I think the Carolina Panthers are in a good position.
Yeah.
Because whether you decide that, okay, Rico's gone, or you keep him, it doesn't matter. You're going to still build around this offense that ran the ball really well. Mm-hmm. And that teams had to go to an 8-man front to go ahead and stop it. And even so, they still were able to go ahead and still create dividends.
Well, we'll talk about more about some of those guys that like Rico Dowdle that unsure if they're going to come back. But let's take a quick break. We'll be back here in a little bit. Ball Brothers Panthers preview, a.k.a. Panthers on the Plus, or we could reverse it. We've been still workshopping it. I like Ball Brothers Panthers preview. I don't know about you. But
yeah,
bro.
We need to throw some glasses with glasses on their face, too. Ball Brothers with glasses.
Ball Brothers with glasses.
Now what?
And Carlene.
I'm here.
We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the Ball Brothers Panthers preview. Ball Brothers with Glasses Panthers preview. I'm trying to get the name right, a.k.a. Panthers on the Plus. I'm with Eugene Robson. Also, Carlene is here. Let's give a shout out to Carlene, holding it down all season here on the stream. I got to ask you, this season, although, and we're going to get into some of those guys who are unrestricted free agents for the Panthers, but it feels a lot less like something big needs to happen this offseason with a seismic shift happening in the NFL. Mike Tomlin out. John Harbaugh looks like he's going to the New York Giants. Mm-hmm. It does I think there are 8 other coach openings in the NFL. We look pretty stable right now.
Exactly.
I like that feeling. It feels good.
Yeah, it does, because don't forget, and this is what I think is so remarkable, that the Panthers will find themselves in the playoff. This is a 2-year coach, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Coach Canales has been a coordinator everywhere he's been. He's been the offensive coordinator, or he's been the quarterback's coach. And so he has that offensive mind, and now he has 2 years to kind of prove himself, to see, okay, who's this guy? Don't forget, we went from Rule, Wilkes, special teams. Then we went from Frank Wright.
Frank Wright, yeah. I forgot about Frank Wright.
Somebody else, boom. Yeah. And now we started on Coach Canales.
And before that, we had stability. John Fox to Ron Rivera.
Exactly. And so from that, now we have some stability. And I would think that Mr. Tepper sees that there's stability right there.
Yeah.
And then don't forget, you've already have his plan in place. And so you're not learning plans after plans after plans after plans. Yeah. You're not doing any of that type of stuff. So to your point, you go into the offseason going like this, hey, we're not like other teams that's unsettled.
Yeah.
We're pretty settled. Now we can concentrate on just getting that linebacker or that edge rusher. Yeah. We can concentrate on just getting
head start.
Or getting that other offensive lineman.
Yeah.
But you get Robin Hunt back in the mix. So you got some things you're sitting there going, hold on, wait a minute. All right, okay. And then don't forget to get a free agency period that happens, then you have the draft.
However, we do have a coach that has been interviewing with several teams. I saw this morning the Steelers.
You talking about Coach Jarrell?
Jarrell. He is interviewed. He's a hot commodity. There has been, I think at times unfair, but I think at times fair criticism of his play calling and of his defensive philosophy. That comes with coaches, right?
Oh, yeah. I've been critical, too, because that was the Saints games that we alluded to, and we talked about
the Rams game.
And the Rams game. And I'm like this, hey, get out of this prevent defense, man, and just send the boys at them. And I'm thinking it from my perspective because I don't like you dinking and dunking down the field. Olave went down the field, boom, 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 boom. Next time it was a touchdown. Then it was boom, 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 boom with the Rams. Parkinson, touchdown. I'd rather say if you're gonna beat me, I'm gonna put a dude in your face. And I'm like, okay, hey, let's cut down the space, and I'm put people in your face. So I get it, but overall, look, they went from being a team that was woeful and stopping the run into doing climbed up into maybe the top 15, and in the past climbed up. Their numbers shifted and they moved directly. And don't forget, Derek Brown came back from injury last year, and then they had J.C. Horn, who
was hurt.
Hurt. So, and then they had two new safeties, Nick Scott and Trayvon Merrick. There's a lot of stuff that you got to go to do, and then you had the linebackers were getting hurt in that game. So, if I'm overall judging Coach Jarrell and this Evero, if I'm judging, I'm like, you didn't do a bad job at all. No, you didn't do a bad job. I wanted more, but you didn't do a bad job.
I think if Everett leaves, Nick Scott's probably going to go with him.
But he was his guy in that Denver, I believe.
That's why
it was his guy at Denver. So I get that. Yeah. But I'm telling you, when you have those moving parts, like when we brought in people, Bobby Brown, and
Pat Jones.
You also had the emergence of Wharton. You had Derek Brown, who's the best defensive tackle in the league. I don't care what nobody say. That dude's the best defensive tackle in the league.
Should have been a Pro Bowler.
I don't care if they don't get you no accolades. It don't matter because all them dudes you face, they know what time it is.
Yeah, they know what.
They know what time it is.
What impact does it, as a guy? Again, one of the greatest safeties to play the game. What does that do for defense? You have a defensive coordinator that's been there for a couple of years. He leaves, and then you bring in a new one.
You got to learn a new system. Now, are you 3-4? Are you 4-3? What? Yeah. Don't forget, you get comfortable learning somebody's system. Mm-hmm. You get comfortable with the vernacular and the calls. You get comfortable with all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And so it's easy for me to say, okay, we're gonna do a hurricane. Well, hurricane to you is, we got both the weak side backer and the nickel blitzing. But hurricane to somebody else is, no, that's a strong side linebacker and the strong safety blitzing on the same. So you got to learn a lot of different vernacular and the language of what the defense is going to go ahead and be. And so now it's all X's and O's and it's all the same, but the vernacular, that's the part you have to go ahead and get. You got to get accustomed to style, and then you got to get accustomed to what do you like to do. Yeah. Do you like to prevent defense? All right. Do you like to go ahead and do more man? Yeah. Are you a zone man team? Mm-hmm. Are you a zone blitzing team? You got to figure out, are you going to be an 8-man front, or do you go to 7-man front, cover 2, and then maybe drop a safety down? You got to do all that stuff and all those nuances and mean something to the defense, and you have to communicate that. That's what guys will have to learn if Coach Ajero was go.
The fans have been critical. We've been critical, but the players on board. Obviously, the front office is on board. They want him there.
Oh, that's what Coach Canales said. That's what I heard him clearly.
Dan Morgan said the same thing.
He said, we want him.
They believe in in their DC. Oh, and I'm cool. I'm cool with that. I'm looking at the list. There are some guys. I'm not going to read the entire list, but I want to get your reaction. These are unrestricted free agents, guys that you think pivotal to bring back next year. We got Austin Corbett, center. Yeah. Rico Dowdle. We talked about him. Skip down the list.
I think Austin Corbett, yes. I think Rico Dowdle, I think somebody's going to go ahead and offer him a lot of money that he's going to go.
Rico Dowdle's gone.
I think that he's that good.
Cade Mays.
I think he stays.
Okay, because also we have the question of Icky. He had a.
That's right. He got hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt. A serious injury, and Robert Hunt has been hurt too.
Yep, and Robert Hunt comes back now, but
yeah,
yeah.
You don't know. Another guy. Two more guys. Well, actually, three more guys. I'm sorry. Christian Roseboom.
Yes, he stays.
Okay.
He's for my criticism, Christian Roseboom is that I think he's so aggressive that he goes past the play sometimes.
Yep.
However, his aggression, the dude gets there and he means business.
He got better.
Oh yeah, he means business. And that one interception that he had that against, I forget towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I know.
That deep end, I can see that deep run. He has that interception, and I'm sitting going, okay, all right. And I think it was against Tampa, and we lost the game. Mm-hmm. However, I'm sitting going, okay, finally you're depth and dropping, and you're learning how to drop deeper as opposed to
he was very shallow,
very shallow. So, and I think you can hone his aggression, but I don't want to bridle that heart that he has because he gets after it.
I like Christian Roseboom. He grew on me. I got one more. DJ Wanham.
I thought we would have more from DJ Wanham because I loved when he came back towards the end of the season, and I thought that he was one of the best pass rushers that we had. And I thought with the advent of Derek Brown getting back in the mix, and he coming off the edge, I thought that he would have a lot of sacks. That didn't materialize.
Yeah.
And I know he was hurt from time to time, so I get it. But he's a guy that I think that if we're looking for a guy who can rush the edge, I think he's a guy who can do it.
I think too. Also, when we think about edge rushers, I'm thinking about Pat Jones. I know he plays outside line. Edge rusher is kind of a newer thing, right?
But Nick Scorton's out there too now.
Nick Scorton. But Pat Jones, he played well, but he had problems walking through the season.
Exactly.
He has that back surgery months in, so he should be ready for the start of the season. So that might have some impact on what they do on the defensive line.
Yeah, see, I think defensively, as Dan Morgan, the GM, is thinking about where some of the places. We've always had a linebacker that was notable.
Yeah. Dan Morgan was one of them.
Dan Morgan, Beeson, Luke Kuechly.
Yeah.
Thomas Davis.
Yeah.
Shaq Thompson.
Shaq Thompson.
Forget about how good Shaq was.
Who got an interception. He plays for the Bills.
Dude.
He got an interception.
Dude. So we've always had backers that was Sam Mills.
Yeah.
We always had backers that was notable backers.
Yeah.
And I've always thought that the energy from the team always emanates from that position because the backers tie the secondary and the defensive front together. But you notice where does that noise come from? It comes from the defensive line and who?
Yeah.
Derek Brown. Not like the Luke Kuechly, not like the Thomas Davis, not like the Beeson, not like the Dan Morgan. So I think I'm looking for now. Wallace, can you be that guy? I think Wallace, because I think Wallace is good. He got to stay healthy.
Yeah,
he has to stay healthy.
He's in that Xavier Legette category.
He got to stay healthy, and if you ain't staying healthy, dude,
I don't know what to
I don't know what to say, dude.
You got it's the NFL. And
you got to be healthy.
You know it better than anybody. Availability is the best ability.
And I like Wallace. I think he's really good, but he has to be healthy. If he's not healthy, then now you're a liability, and now they're looking to find people to replace you because the NFL is you got to be healthy.
It's ruthless. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back here on Ball Brothers with Glasses Panthers preview.
Yep.
We'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, welcome back to Ball Brothers with Glasses Panthers preview. I'm getting it right. I'm getting it better. Hey. All right, so let's move away from the Panthers. I want to get your take. Mike Tomlin leaving the Pittsburgh. I know you didn't expect this question. Leaving the Steelers after 19 years, almost 2 decades, man. I want to get your thoughts on that, man, because that is a big shift. You rarely see coaches leave a franchise. Mike Tomlin. I feel like he has an impact everywhere.
Yes, he
Do you
has.
have any Mike Tomlin stories?
Yes, he has. I'm a big Mike Tomlin fan, and so I was surprised. But if when he steps down, I'm pretty sure that he had conversations with the Rooney family and about stepping down at the end of the season, and they probably just kept it under wraps. The other thing is that I think he won't want for a job because he's going to be highly sought after.
Yeah.
When Harbaugh got canned, I'm like, well, guess what? He's going to be out there because he's a good coach.
Yeah.
And so is Coach Tomlin. But also, I think that Coach Tomlin, if he has any aspirations of being in broadcasting, I think that there's a spot that's formed that, whether Fox, CBS, NBC, that will welcome him immediately.
Yeah.
Because his knowledge of the game and just what he's been able to go ahead and do. So I think he's probably in a good position, and probably when he talked over with his family, probably said, this is a time for me to go ahead and to move on.
Yeah.
Because I would think he has more options. He doesn't strike me as a man that leaves a job without knowing what his options are.
Have you met Mike Tomlin before?
Yes, I have, and he's cooler than a fan. I met him here in Charlotte. Mike is cooler than a fan,
okay.
and he's funny, dude. I didn't know that Coach Tomlin was funny
because he's also serious.
I said, dude, you're funny, man. You're a funny dude, man. He's like this. He said, oh man, Gene, I can't give him everything. I said, yeah, because when I see you doing your thing, it's abrupt, it's curt, it's short, it's brief. It's like boom, boom. You're like just to the point. Boom. This is it. All you get, right?
Yeah.
But that's not his personality. And also like Bill Belichick, I've heard it say that's not his personality either. So that's just the persona of being a head coach and being hardened by, us in the media who have to go ahead and ask questions.
Yeah, we're critical of
everything you do.
Look, I'm
a Mike Tomlin fan.
If you do something for almost 20 years, you did a good job at it. Because there's a lot of people don't make it 5 years.
And you went to the playoffs again. I'm just saying.
And you didn't have a losing season.
No.
So, I mean, hats off to Mike Tomlin. I thought I asked that Mike Tomlin question.
And probably will go down in history and be in the Hall of Fame as one of the top coaches.
I'm not mad at that. That's a first ballot Hall of Famer right there.
Oh, dude, 20 years, roughly 20 years at Pittsburgh, at that, and no losing season.
It went by fast.
Man,
I felt like it went
losing season.
No losing season.
Man, please get on. Mike Tomlin got it going on. Let me be the first to say, Mike Tomlin, you got it going on.
He still hasn't denied if he's related to Omar Epps.
I just said, look, my wife loves Omar Epps. Right? She said, I said, don't they got like different lazy eyes and stuff like this going? She's going like, she said, oh no, they are just fine.
Omar Epps just rewatched In Too Deep recently.
Oh really? Okay, Omar Epps got it going on too. I'm like, look, I'm a fan.
I love Omar Epps.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Omar Epps. I'm a fan of Mike Tomlin.
Oh man! All right, man. Thank you guys for joining us here on Panthers on the Plus, aka the Ball Brothers with Glasses Panthers preview with Carlene. Can't forget.
That's right.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you guys. Have a great night.